Hi, and welcome back to day 2 of Get Your Skinny Jeans On. I'm excited that you've completed day 1. You might be a little bit sore, which is fantastic. So today we're going to go ahead and do a totally different circuit. We're going to start with the same warm-up as we did yesterday, which was the inchworm, so I'll demonstrate that again. So we're going to start by bending forward and keeping your legs as straight as you can, inching those hands out as you can, straighten your legs, and then go past your shoulder, inch those toes in with straight legs, back up to your fingers, stand up, turn around, do it again. We're going to do just as yesterday, 10 inchworms as a warm-up. From here, we're going to go straight into our squats. I'm going to demonstrate the proper way to do a squat. You're going to want to put your heels slightly more than hip width apart. Grind your heels into the ground, pushing your knees slightly out, and you're going to go ahead and sit down as though you're sitting into a chair. If you're a beginner at doing squats, then go ahead and grab a chair. And we're going to practice as though we're just sitting down into the chair. So same thing, grinding those heels into the ground, feet slightly wider than hip width apart, sitting down like you're sitting into a chair and pulling up, keeping that chest nice and up, shoulders back, sitting down, coming up and squeezing. And this chair actually is high enough that it doesn't allow me to get to parallel, so I'll do it without the chair. And squeeze, and squeeze. If you have a weight, you can go ahead and grab the weight, hold it right here in the front, and sit down, come up. Kettlebells are fantastic, and that's our squat. From our squat, we're going to move right into the ever-beloved burpee. And I'm going to show you my version of a burpee. So you're going to stand back, we're going to put ourselves all the way down on the floor and come up. So here we go. And jump up and down. (20 to 25 burpees. This next exercise will require some sort of weight. So a kettlebell is great again. Some sort of small weight if you have it. If you don't have any weights at home at all, I recommend maybe finding a cast iron skillet, something that has some kind of weight to it. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my kettlebell, and you're going to want to find your coffee table, a couch would work, a table. We're going to come down, and we're going to put one knee up, put the other hand out in front, step our other foot out to the side, probably about 1.5 to 2 feet. We're going to grab our kettlebell, you're going to let your shoulder drop, and we're going to pull up and squeeze. Pull up and squeeze. We're really squeezing all along this side of our body. Show on the other side. So step that foot out about 1.5 feet, probably 2 feet. Drop that shoulder, pull up and squeeze. Pull up and squeeze. And you can go ahead and even look kind of towards your hip in the back. Encourage your body to squeeze. All right, our 4th and 5th exercise today is going to be a plank. So I'm sure many of you have done this before, or at least seen people do it. We're going to come down to our elbows, come up onto our toes until our body is completely parallel with the ground. We don't want a saggy bottom. We don't want a mountain. We want to be completely flat. We're going to hold this for 60 seconds if you can. If you cannot, hold it for 20 to 30 seconds, 2 to 3 times until you reach that 60 seconds. And our 5th and final exercise today is after you've gotten your 60 seconds in of regular plank. You're going to roll right over onto a side, on your elbow again, legs extended. Pull your hip up until you're completely flat. Hold this for 30 seconds, and at the end of 30 seconds, you're going to pulse your hips. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 for 10, and then you're going to switch sides. Congratulations on completion of day 2. I hope you're feeling great and have received some value from both the first day and the second day, and that you're a little bit sore from what we've done. I'd like to encourage you to click on the link below, and by doing so, you're going to receive a free 15-minute coaching call with me, Leah Reynolds. I am a health coach, and I have assisted many people in releasing their unwanted pounds and inches, and I look forward to doing the same for you. My health tip for today has to do with carbohydrates. Carbohydrates have gotten a little bit of a bad rap, and it's not all for good reason. It is true that many carbohydrates are not healthy and not good for us. However, not all carbohydrates are equal. Carbohydrates are actually very, very important. They are a source of fuel for both our body and for our brain. The sugar in the carbohydrates is what feed our brain and give us energy and alertness. When our blood sugar level drops, we feel sluggish and fatigued. So what's important to look at in carbohydrates is whether or not it's a high glycemic or a low glycemic carbohydrate. For example, most of the food you find in the center aisles at the grocery store are all going to be high glycemic. High glycemic foods, and there are some other high glycemic foods out there that might really surprise you. So the best thing you can do is Google high glycemic foods and get a list, and then you'll know which ones to avoid. High glycemic food not only is a fast-burning carbohydrate that turns to sugar in our system quickly and then is stored in our fat cells, but they are also more acidic. Our bodies are always striving to be alkaline. So the more acidic food we feed our body, the more our body fights to get to alkaline. And when we do that, it can cause some problems and some issues. For example, if our body is too acidic, our bodies will actually start to pull vitamins and minerals from our bones and from our muscles to compensate. Acidity leads to inflammation, and inflammation leads to many diseases and discomforts. It's also been found that eating too much acidic food can lead to gallstones and kidney stones. So some examples of high glycemic foods are things like white breads, pumpkin, pineapple, watermelon, bananas, and white potatoes. Some examples of some low glycemic foods are sweet potatoes, yams, beans, nuts, grapefruits, oranges, berries. So whenever you're given an opportunity, the best thing to do is to choose a low glycemic carbohydrate. That's my health tip for today.